Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us once again. For those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on YouTube, we're glad to have you all with us. We're about to connect with our friends over on Instagram so they can be a part of our chat for today, and also connecting with Amazon Live as well. Have a very special show coming up for you guys today. We have a returning guest that's with us to walk us through something very special that's happening, and we're now live on Amazon Live with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You'll see that here in this corner or down below. You also will see the books by our next guest. She's also the president of the West Texas Living Heritage Museum in Texas. I'm talking about the one and only Tina Siemens. She's joining us today as they're celebrating the second anniversary of the museum. She's going to give you guys an exclusive look at what's taking place this week. She has a full week of activity. Also, remember, you guys can get her books here, her newest one being Post Oak. I'm going to highlight it for you guys over here. Tina, my friend, welcome back to the program and congratulations to you.
Thank you, Cyrus. What an honor to be alive with your show. It is always something to look forward to. So
Well,
I'm grateful to have this day arrive.
Well, I appreciate that, Robert Helm. Hello to you over there on IG. So, Tina, a lot for us to talk about. We know you have a lot going on this week. I was just saying to you how proud I've been of you, the videos you've been sharing, the pictures, and I love the anticipation. How does it feel to now be here celebrating the second anniversary of the museum?
Well, I had the same excitement this morning as I drove up, just as the sun came up, that I had 2 years ago, opening the doors for the first time. And
Wow.
and so the buzz is the same. I'll have great grandchildren of Chief Quanah Parker joining me tomorrow, and on Thursday, a great grandson. So I'm just so excited to not only share my family's history, but also the region's history and the United States history, because Post Oak is not just Texas history. Quanah Parker is known around the world as the last chief of the Comanche Nation. So I'm just excited to be able to share with the world the history, because history does matter.
It does matter. And Tina, you have been, out of all the clients I've worked with now for 15 years. I don't know if I've ever told you this. You are the first client I've ever worked with that has made history a priority in their platform and in their work. And I've enjoyed working with you since the very first book. I'm going to show it for those who are joining us on the Amazon platform, Seminole. Some people never give up. I love the fact that, to the point you just made, that this is not just your family history; it's all of our history. What has that message been like for you to share with people, Tina, about the importance of knowing history and appreciating it?
Well, if we don't repeat history, it is lost in the second generation. So just think that your grandchildren, if they don't hear it directly from you, then that history is lost. The
Yeah.
third generation just hears it from hearsay. And so it's so important that we as parents and grandparents will repeat what our story is, because every human being has a story and every story matters. And that is today's happening is tomorrow's history. So for
Mm.
us to keep that in mind and to repeat that and talk about it, that is our obligation, not just a freedom that we have, but our obligation to the next generation, so that they will know what history is all about.
Yeah. Well, then, Tina, I'm going to do something that you don't get comfortable with. I know I'm not comfortable with it too. I want to turn it around to you, because this brings us to the fact that you have made history, my friend, in not only having the vision for this museum, but bringing it to life, now celebrating 2 years. How does it feel to know that your history making moment of creating this museum is now spreading that history?
Well, this morning when I saw the parking lot just completely filling up,
Mm.
people coming to attend the farmers market that we have here every Tuesday, and then them coming into the gift shop now and
Hmm.
signing up for the classes that will be happening the rest of the week, it just does my heart so proud to know that there is not just me that loves history. There is people in my community that travel 80 to 100 miles distance to be here this week. So
Wow.
I'm just so grateful. And then I have people coming in all the way from Oklahoma. So it is going to truly be another week of making history here at the West Texas Living Heritage Museum.
Love that. And Tina's going to be giving us a tour here shortly. I want to give some shout outs, Tina. Hello to you. Rico Urban joining us on IG. Michelle, hello to you.
Hello.
Alretha, hello to you joining us from California over there on IG as well. Glad you could join us. For those of you tuning in on Amazon, thank you so much for the hearts over there. Appreciate you guys joining us. So, last thing I want to ask you about, Tina, and I know you're going to take us around. And that is how this all started. So you're celebrating the second anniversary of the West Texas Living Heritage Museum. Where did the idea for the museum come from?
I had wanted to do this museum for 20 years, and I was always looking for the perfect location. And this is just a FYI for those of you who have a dream, and that dream is being quenched because you don't have the circumstances just right. That is something that I had to overcome.
Yeah.
I had this building that's about 6,000 square feet. It has been multiple uses, and it was empty. And so when I was praying, Lord, let me find a building, he said, you have one already. Just start with what you got. And so that is where the idea came to fruition 2 years ago
Yeah.
when I took what I already have and
Yeah.
I've built on that. And so often if we wait for the perfect environment, the perfect locations, we may never realize our dreams to come true. And
Yeah.
so that has been one of the biggest lessons that I've taken away from my last 2 years of journey is start with what you've got. Start
Yeah.
where you're at
Yeah.
and build on it.
One thing you've always made a part of, Tina, is talking to me about the museum, and I'm so glad I finally got the name right. Everybody, I wanted to make it the West Texas Living History Museum. That's what I always used to call it. But then finally, it's
Yes,
like, okay, I get it now. But you made a point, Tina, of telling me it was important for you to have living in the title.
yes,
Tell us why.
yes. Tomorrow will be a living part of history. Tomorrow, a local butchering shop will bring a half a beef, and all those who signed up for this class will be able to be hands-on, learning what beef cut comes from what part of the calf.
Mm,
And then in the afternoon, I will be pressure canning, teaching a class of how to pressure can this beef so that it will be on a shelf life in your pantry for as long as the seal is. It can be up to 20 years.
oh, wow.
You want to eat it earlier for the
Mhm.
freshness part, but
Yeah.
it is preserved. And that is what our ancestors did. They did not have grocery stores where they could go purchase it on a daily basis to make a recipe, but they preserved. And so for me to teach living history
Mhm.
is those kinds of classes that I'll be providing.
Love that. And I see, I just learned something new. I didn't know. Now my mother probably knows about that, but we've never talked about it. But again, it's important again to have these conversations. You mentioned Quanah Parker, who plays prominently
Yes.
in Post Oak. How does
Yes.
it feel to have that connection with his family, and then to have them be a part of the second anniversary, Tina?
It is such a blessing because he was the one, and you see the pictures on top of the staircase right there of
Hmm.
Chief Quanah Parker. He was the one that gave my blood relative, my third cousin, 3 times removed, permission to build the Jesus House in Oklahoma. Once all of the natives, if you've heard of the book Trails of Tears, that is when all of the natives were forced to what is now the state of Oklahoma. And they then lived on the reservation, but their livelihood was taken away, and so they were forced to garden and to live off things that they produced. And
Yeah.
so that is when my third cousin had the passion to go in and ask for permission to build a Jesus house, and that was 1896. And
Wow.
that church is still in existence today. And those Comanche nations that attend this post oak mission call themselves Mennonites since 1896. And that is the connection between the Mennonites and the Comanche Nation. And I couldn't be more proud to call them my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
On the grand opening, they gave me a Comanche name, which is Puyai Posakani, meaning I'm a bridge. And
Mm,
so for me to be that bridge is a daily reminder of I can do more by being that willing heart to serve others, because that is how we build bridges, is by giving of myself, my time, my talent, my my life
Yeah.
for in service of others.
And Tina, for those who do not know, that name Bridge fits Tina so well. There's so many things Tina's done this year that you all probably don't even know about, where she's been able to be that bridge of communication, of love, of compassion for other people. Tina, you don't, like I said, you and I are liking this in some ways. I'm getting better. I think you're getting better too. You don't always give yourself credit for that, but and now today, when you think about how you are bridging these different communities, you're bridging culture, you're bridging history, how does it feel to know that you're able to be that gift to so many people?
Well, it's that alone is a gift to me,
Hmm.
because a gift is not a gift until you give it away, because that's how it multiplies and comes back to you. It's like a boomerang effect.
Yeah.
And so for us to give to others uh, just means that it will be given back to me
Hmm.
multiplied.
Yeah.
And so then that gives me more chances to multiply back to others. So it's a cycle. And for me to be able to do that, it's just absolutely a gift that I will cherish for the rest of my life and continue working on for the rest of my life, because that is my calling, is to keep history alive
Mm,
and to share with others. So I'm
love
kind
that.
of walking into the gift shop right now.
Okay,
So
and I'm going to reset while you're doing that, Tina, and say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We are live on location with best-selling author Tina Siemens. This is the second anniversary of her museum there in Texas, the West Texas Living Heritage Museum. She's celebrating the second anniversary. She's about to give us a tour. Tina, I'm going to go ahead and you just said you just walked into the gift shop. This is something that's brand new. I'm going to go
yes.
ahead and turn it over to you so you can give us a tour.
Okay, so here you'll see, and my again, my aim is a lot of the things that is in the museum here is pertaining to the classes that I'm teaching. So a lot of canning stuff, a lot of baking stuff. So it's just some Amish made stuff, and I will be using these items uh, while I'm doing the canning classes and while I'm teaching the butter making classes. So it's just an amazing. I've got my team in the background there. Say hello, everyone. And so it's just part of a continuous of teaching the Living Heritage Museum.
Yeah, yeah. Where did the idea for the gift shop come from, Tina?
Um, Again, when I do give a class, I'd love to be able to offer the mason jars and the tools that they need, the pressure canners, the cookbooks. So I've got a rack with lots of different books.
Hmm.
So I wanted to be able to provide all in one stop. So that's kind of the idea of being able to have the gift shop here.
Hmm.
And next, we will walk out the door, and you'll be able to see the many different vendors, and we'll talk to several ladies that started this whole idea of doing the. So you'll see all the different
Oh, love
vendors
it.
set up.
Yeah.
We
Seems to be
got
a beautiful
20.
day there too, Tina.
Well, it's supposed to be 106 this afternoon, so it'll
Oh,
be a
wow.
hot day. So you'll see all the different vendors, handmade leather tool sets, baking supplies, say from 9 to 1 is when we'll have this local farmers market. So I'm
Okay.
going to have you say hi to Miss Marlene Thiessen and her daughters right here. So she is
Hello.
she's one of the ladies and the brains behind the farmers market. So she
Love
was
it.
going to
Hello.
talk
Welcome
to
to the
us
program.
about growing something.
All
Yes,
right.
we grow tomatoes in West Texas, and that's kind of a challenge. But here's our proof: we grow them. They have to be
Wow.
put in the ground really, really early, like
Mm,
beginning of April. And then you got to be ready to put some freeze cloth on them, and put some warm lights on them to make sure they don't freeze. And
wow.
then you have your tomatoes that'll set early. If you don't do that, then you'll have a good fall crop, but it'll be till then. So,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
Everything
grow
is
tomatoes.
a lot harder in Texas
It is.
because of the heat and because of the wind. But this
Yeah.
lady knows how to make some organic produce. So we're so
I love
grateful
it.
to have you here, Marlene.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. next we'll go speak to the ladies that have all the honey farms. So they
Okay.
have, we'll ask them how many hives they have in our area and all the products that they make from local honey. So
Oh,
here's
hello.
the ladies.
Hello, hello.
So they are as sweet as they come.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So introduce yourself and let me kind of know what prompted you to start the farmers market.
Okay, so my name is Rosie, and I'm Meredith. And so my I wanted something that would provide for the local people and would also have local items, so that way we could just support our local community.
Absolutely. So what's one interesting fact that you want to tell me about bees?
So we love them. One. And the other thing is that so our honey, you can see the color of it or whatever, but bees will forage like a 3 to 5 mile radius from their hive. So the flora that they're harvesting on will determine how your honey tastes, what color it is, what
Oh, wow.
kinds of pollen are left inside of it when we harvest it and that kind of stuff. So it changes apiary by apiary and also changes week by week. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Meredith?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. An interesting fact about bees.
So raw local honey retains the natural pollen inside of it because it's not ultra filtered or heated. So some people believe, and we found that it helps with seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
so buy local if you
Yes.
can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not only medicinal wise, it's an amazing benefit, but supporting local and keeping bees is just so beneficial for agriculture,
Yes.
for pollination and all of that. But
Yes.
these ladies, not only do they harvest bees, sometimes I have seen a video where they were encountered with a large rattlesnake. So
Oh, wow.
they rouse some
Well,
rattlesnakes as
yeah,
well.
we've had a couple, and we may or may not have taken care of one and moved another one to another location. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Snake wrangler.
Yeah. There you go. So that's
Hey,
just
Tina.
thank
Hey,
you
Tina.
so much.
Have they?
Yes.
Tina, have they thought about doing an ebook about the bees? I would love to learn more about the bees.
Okay.
yeah, we'll have to get
Do
us
a
in
video on bees. They will make it and we'll provide it.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it.
Yes. Bees are fascinating creatures. There's
Yeah.
so much interesting facts. So thank you,
Mhm.
ladies,
contact.
for
Thank you.
having started the farmers market.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll go back inside and we can
Yeah.
wrap up this amazing live Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Tina, this is so much
yeah,
fun. Thank you so much for bringing us along. I feel like I'm there.
it is nice and warm out here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so much fun. I've got a sandbox out for the kids to play in, and
Hmm.
tables and chairs set up where they can just go grab food from one of the vendors, and
Yeah.
it's just a lot of fun to see the community coming out and not only supporting, but also
Hmm.
to be a part of the
Right.
history. They can learn from all sides of what it means to be doing living history.
Yeah. Well, Tina, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you. I know it's a busy week of activity. I appreciate you taking us along here on Amazon and on social media into this. I want to thank you again for sharing the videos and posts you've been making with us so we can kind of get a better idea. Let our audience know how they can stay connected with you in the museum.
Well, thanks again for having me on. It was truly
Mhm.
a pleasure. And all those who attended, thank you.
Mhm.
You can stay connected with me on all social media platforms. I'm most active on Instagram and Facebook at the West
Mhm.
Texas Living Heritage Museum, or you
Mhm.
can email me at seminolthebook.com.
All right. Well, Tina, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. Have some fun and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, until next time, make it a
All
great
right.
one. Your
You as
words.
well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.